Hey guys, hope you're well. I'm back again to go through my movie collection, this time still covering dramas. There's so very many. In the last video, the very last movie we covered was Brian De Palma's The Black Dahlia, so we're going to kick it off right from there. The next movie is Steven Soderbergh's The Good German, and I don't know a lot about this movie. It was shot in black and white, George Clooney, Cate Blanchett. Kill Your Darlings, which is a story of Allen Ginsberg, a famous poet or writer, I believe. This has Daniel Radcliffe, and it's about like the gay relationship between Allen Ginsberg and someone else, and I think there is a story of murder involved in this. I did see this a very long time ago, but I can't remember it very clearly. Then we have Life is Beautiful, which this is a Holocaust movie. It's Italian, starring one of the greatest Italian actors and sort of funny people, Roberto Benigni, but this is a really sad drama, but also sort of comedy. It was actually very controversial when it came out because it makes light of the Holocaust and POW camps. It's about a father pretending to his son that the whole idea of the Holocaust is all a big game and it's like fun and stuff, but this is a beautiful movie. It's like really well acted. Schindler's List, speaking of the Holocaust, obviously another Holocaust movie, a bit of a more straightforward one, directed by Spielberg, of course. Very sad, very long, and this is pretty much the only, Life is Beautiful and Schindler's List are pretty much the only really sad Holocaust movies I have. I tend to find them all a bit samey after a while, and just, yeah, I just don't need to see too many movies that are about the same event in history with a whole lot of sadness and tragedy and death. But yeah, Schindler's List is great, Life is Beautiful, amazing. Next we have another really sad but like wonderful movie, a David Lynch movie, The Elephant Man, which this movie will make you cry. This is one of the most well acted, for David Lynch, who's a very surrealist, experimental, strange movie director, this is a more straightforward movie. Even though the main character is a very, very disfigured man, and when I say disfigured, I mean this guy looks like a monster. But this is a really human story of humanity, even despite being, you know, different or having disability or whatever. This is a really amazing film. Then we have a Clint Eastwood movie, Changeling, which stars Angelina Jolie. Saw this a very long time ago and I really liked it. It's mainly about a mother and son relationship, and it's another period piece, a bit like the last few movies. Little Women, one of the new Little Women adaptations directed by Greta Gerwig. Haven't seen it yet, haven't read the book, haven't seen any other Little Women adaptations, but this has a really great cast, so I look forward to checking it out. It's a Wonderful Life, a very famous Christmas drama movie directed by Frank Capra, with some, yeah, James Stewart, really classic, famous actor. Haven't seen it yet, look forward to checking it out. It seems very uplifting and nice. Miracle on 34th Street, another very old, very classical movie, another Christmas movie. This is a really beautiful movie about Santa and a little girl's relationship. Obviously there's the remake of this too with Mara Wilson from Matilda, but this classic one is a wonderful story. Rebel Without a Cause, still never seen this. Very famous movie with James Dean. We'll see how it is. I hope it's a gritty urban drama from the 50s. All About Eve, another very classic old movie. We're going through a few classics of the golden age of Hollywood cinema, as it were, but look forward to checking this out. It won Best Picture. I think it might be a romance. It's about acting, I believe. A Streetcar Named Desire, based on the play. I haven't seen this movie either, haven't seen the play, but Marlon Brando seems to be giving a very good performance in this. It should be a good sort of another urban gritty drama, probably quite similar to Rebel Without a Cause. Midnight Cowboy, the classic movie with Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight, where Dustin Hoffman's walking down the street and he says, "Hey, I'm walking here," to the taxi that cuts him off. But this is another really gritty urban drama about a country guy who moves to New York in the hopes of sort of living it big and living the American dream and becoming, you know, rich and famous and successful, because in New York, like, that's what you do, it's New York. But when he gets there, it's not like that at all, and there's a lot of poverty, a lot of homelessness, a lot of just really not savory things happening, if you catch my drift. But this is a really great film. Rain Man, another Dustin Hoffman movie where he plays like a intellectually disabled man. I guess a bit similar to like Forrest Gump, but more dramatic. Tom Cruise is in this too. Saw this a long time ago. I really quite liked it. A story of like Asperger's and autism, wherein the main character with Asperger's sort of is challenged in some ways, but incredibly smart in other ways. So Rain Man was good. Sling Blade. This is one of my favourite Billy Bob Thornton movies there is, and I'm a huge fan of Billy Bob Thornton. I think he's like just one of the greatest actors, just charismatic as hell. He can do comedy, he can do drama. I love seeing him on screen, and this is also about a sort of disabled man who'd committed a crime previously, and he's released from a psychiatric ward, and he's trying to just find his way in the world. And he meets a young boy and his family who he comes from a bit of an abusive household, but this is a great movie about the South. Like, this is such a southern Louisiana, like, deep South drama movie, gritty, urban, sort of, drama. Billy Bob Thornton directed this too. It's amazing. Watch Sling Blade. In Search of America, I don't know a lot about this. I mainly got it because it has Jeff Bridges, and I'm a big fan of Jeff Bridges, but it seems to be a road trip type of movie, maybe, about the heart of America. So I look forward to checking this out. Could be a light-hearted, sort of epic, sort of comedic, maybe, drama. We have here then a double feature of Five Easy Pieces and Easy Rider, two Jack Nicholson classic movies. I haven't seen Five Easy Pieces, but it seems like a sort of raw, realistic drama, a bit like the others mentioned, you know, a guy trying to find his way in the world, trying to find a job and whatnot. An Easy Rider, another classic. Great sort of motorcycle movie, just traveling through the heart of America movie. So I also have Easy Rider on Blu-ray. Next we have a movie from a director I love, Jim Jarmusch. This is called Dead Man. It stars Johnny Depp, and I saw this a long time ago too. It's shot in black and white. I don't remember it being one of my favourite Jim Jarmusch movies. It was very slow, maybe even painstakingly slow. But this is sort of like a neo-western, I suppose. But very artistic, very interesting music. I believe, did Neil Young do the music of this? Don't quote me on that, but I look forward to revisiting this someday and seeing what I think of it again. Another Jim Jarmusch movie, a more recent one called Patterson, starring Adam Driver, where he plays a poet who's also a bus driver, or it's a bus driver who writes poetry in his spare time. Another very slow-moving drama. Very just personal, just slice of life, like not a lot really happens. It's just more about the vibes and the hanging out. I remember quite liking it. Again, look forward to revisiting this sometime. And here's another David Lynch movie, one of his lesser known movies, also one of his less surrealist, strange, weird, artistic movies, The Straight Story, which another movie about traveling through the heart of America. This is about a very old man who goes to visit his brother or his best friend from Iowa to Wisconsin. Yeah, to mend his relationship with his estranged older brother. And he travels there via his ride-on lawnmower. So it's about a lonely old man traveling across the heart of America on a lawnmower. It's nice stuff. It's peaceful. It's a peaceful movie. This is actually a Disney movie too. It was put out by Disney, and which is strange at the time for Disney to put out a movie like this for grown-ups where, it's a David Lynch movie, you know, the director of Blue Velvet and Lost Highway. Like, Still Alice, starring Julianne Moore. She won an Oscar for this role. This is a movie about early onset dementia. I saw it when it came out. It was really good. Good drama. Human, personal, just slice of life. More human, personal, slice of life drama, Nomadland, starring Frances McDormand. She also won Best Actress, and this is about a woman who lives in a van and travels across America. For some reason, there's a lot of traveling across America movies here, but this is a very peaceful, slow-moving movie. It's about the vibes. It's a hangout movie. It doesn't have crazy action and all that kind of stuff. It's just a very meditative, immersive movie. Floating Weeds, which I thought was an Akira Kurosawa movie, but it's a Yasujiro Ozu movie, who is a Japanese director, and this is a very old film too. It looks very just like another peaceful slice of life human drama, so we'll see what that's like. I don't know a lot about it, but Floating Weeds. Next we do have an Akira Kurosawa movie, Scandal, which I also don't know a lot about. It's very, very old, it's Japanese. Yeah, we'll see what it's like. Another human drama, perhaps. Drive My Car, another more recent Japanese movie about a driver driving a playwright across Japan. And we'll see what this is like. This claimed a lot of Oscar attention when it came out. And it could be very good. Past Lives, a Korean movie directed by Celine Song, who did a movie I saw with Bianca a couple of years ago, last year, called Materialists, which was more English language, but that was really, really good, so I look forward to seeing this. I heard great things. Another drama about human connection. Roma, this is one of my all-time favourite movies, directed by Alfonso Cuarón, a Mexican filmmaker, did Children of Men. This is about a housemaid for a rich family and her life living within this family who consider her sort of part of their family, even though she's more of an employee. This is one of the most amazingly shot movies. Like, the way Alfonso Cuarón does cinematography, you wonder how he even gets shots like that. Like, every shot just looks like an incredible portrait, like this beautiful thing that should be in an art gallery. Every moment of this movie is like, just looks like pure art. This is a wonderful movie. It would have been very difficult to make, so skillfully acted and made. Seriously, Roma, check it out. I don't know what else to say about it, just you need to watch Roma. Father of My Children. I don't know a lot about this movie. I think it's French. I believe it's probably about fatherhood. We shall see. It could be nice. This Boy's Life, an older movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, which I think is the only time those two great American titans of acting have acted together in a movie. It's this and Killers of the Flower Moon from about 2 or 3 years ago. December Boys, an early Daniel Radcliffe movie that's not Harry Potter. He was still a kid around the time of Harry Potter, just when he was sort of trying to make his transition away from Harry Potter for people to maybe start recognizing him as in more roles. But at this point in time, I reckon everyone just thought of him as Harry Potter. But now in more recent years, Daniel Radcliffe as an actor really has sort of parted ways from the Harry Potter thing. He's done some versatile, interesting movie roles. We just talked about Kill Your Darlings a minute ago, so December Boys could be pretty good. My Left Foot, early role from Daniel Day-Lewis, one of the greatest actors of all time. He plays a disabled man in this, I believe. I don't know a whole lot else about it, but I look forward to seeing this because he is one of my favourite actors. I, Daniel Blake, directed by Ken Loach. This is probably one of my favourite movies too. This is about a carpenter who is just getting fucked over by the welfare system in the UK. It's about the honest, hard-working man's plight against the government sort of holding him back financially and holding families back financially who are struggling to get by. Ken Loach makes a lot of movies about sort of the struggles of, say, poverty or homelessness or trying to just make your way in the world. I, Daniel Blake is amazing. It's so well acted. It's so neo-realist, which means I guess just so realistic that you wonder this doesn't feel like a movie. This feels like a documentary that I'm watching right now. This is an amazing movie. Sorry We Missed You. Also Ken Loach. Not quite as good as I, Daniel Blake, but covers similar themes, follows a family in the UK through their employment hell, so to speak. It's about poverty and trying to just make a living in the world. Kes, another Ken Loach movie, very, very old, earlier than the previous two mentioned. This is from the early 70s. I remember watching this in high school actually, as a class movie in drama class. And at that time, as you tend to think a lot of the time when you watch a movie in a high school class, you don't like it. Or, all the kids are like, no, this is shit, this is boring. But I look forward to checking this out again one day, now that I'm, older. Going through some more Ken Loach here, Family Life. The title sounds pretty self-explanatory. This is probably about family life. And maybe the Ken Loach themes that he returns to of like poverty and employment and trying to make a living. All or Nothing, another Ken Loach, and I think this is about sort of life in a dilapidated UK apartment complex. But this has Timothy Spall in it. This could be really good. Haven't seen it. The Sound of One Hand Clapping. I don't know a lot about this. I think it's an Australian co-production with, or maybe it's just an Australian movie. It's based on a book by an Australian author, Richard Flanagan. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I look forward to seeing this. Angel Baby, another Australian movie. I believe it's about a man with schizophrenia. It might be a romance story, so to speak. Haven't seen it. I remember in film school I did do a sound exercise with using a clip from this movie, but I haven't seen the movie. I don't know a whole lot about it. Face to Face I have seen, from the same director as Angel Baby, and this is a really great movie about the workplace and about workplace bullying, but sort of more like workplace disputes. It's about a scaffolding company where there's sort of a intervention, so to speak, like a group talk to try and bring peace to it. There was like an accident at work, and yeah, it's a slice of life movie about this company's issues that they have, which reflect real life very, very much so. Storm Boy, Australian classic from the 70s. Haven't seen it in a long time. I know it's very old, possibly very dated. It's about a kid and a pelican. It's about not littering in the ocean. And yeah, I'm sure if I revisited it today, it would be just a good little movie. Diggers. This is an early film starring Paul Rudd. I think it came out in around 2007, thereabouts. Not a comedy, but also starring some other great American actors. I believe this is similar. This is also about like workforce. It's set in the 70s. And yeah, it's about sort of workplace politics, I suppose. Antoine Fisher, Denzel Washington. This, I believe, is about a sailor to some extent. It's about a naval officer who visits a psychiatrist. So this could be a good look at mental health, maybe the naval army in America. Doubt, starring Philip Seymour Hoffman, Meryl Streep, Viola Davis. I saw this a very long time ago. This is about potential did he or didn't he sort of molestation story in the Catholic Church. So it's about, strange priest behavior, but it's a very raw, gritty drama. I remember it, being quite confronting, but really, really good. I look forward to watching this again. I saw it a long time ago. I still think about it to this day. So Doubt is a really, really excellent film. The Master, Paul Thomas Anderson movie. This is about Scientology, a Scientology cult led by Philip Seymour Hoffman. Saw this a long time ago, thought it was pretty good, like great acting. Maybe the pacing was a little bit off, but covers, interesting ground for a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Now that I maybe have heard a little bit more, I'm not an expert in Scientology, but it could be interesting to go back with, if you have some knowledge of Scientology. But yeah, The Master, weird sort of drama about, the weird cult of Scientology. Amour. This is a super depressing movie about aging, about your partner dying, about the horrors of getting old. It's an incredible love story, but it's Michael Haneke. He knows how to just make a depressing, negative emotion sort of movie that's incredibly well acted and well made, but that does not make you feel very good. The Hunt, which is an incredible Danish film starring Mads Mikkelsen. This is about a kindergarten teacher who's sort of wrongfully suspected of committing like a heinous act of molestation on a student, and we know he didn't do it from the beginning, but it's about his whole community in town kind of rejecting him and shutting him out, and how that can just turn his whole life and world upside down. Not exactly a feel-good movie. I remember it having sort of a happy ending, but The Hunt is an incredible movie, one of my favorites. Anatomy of a Fall. This is a French sort of crime drama about maybe someone falling out of a window, but maybe a murder having been committed. It's kind of a mystery movie, but more of a human drama about your world being turned upside down. It's set in it's set in Germany, but it's a very snowy sort of setting. So this is a very, very snowy crime film, you know, like that's almost a subgenre in and of itself, like Fargo and yeah, other crime stories that take place in the snow. A Simple Plan. The Assistant. This is another really, really good workplace drama. It's slow moving, but it's about the insidious nature of sexism and sort of just wrongful bribing being committed in the entertainment sort of industry. It's about an office worker who's, you know, bottom rung of the ladder, but her whole world around her, she knows and can sense and can feel that all these horrible acts are being committed by producers, you know, a la Harvey Weinstein and that kind of thing. And yeah, this is a really good insight into that insidious, just despicable kind of world. Notes on a Scandal, really good movie about teachers, and this is sort of like a crime movie. It's Cate Blanchett and Judi Dench, and it's a story of sort of gossip and manipulation in the education system. The Big Chill. I don't know a whole lot about this, but it's set in the 80s. It's about a group of old friends who come together to go to the funeral of one of their own friends, and how they all become reunited and their values and stuff are sort of, they've changed, they've, you know, moved on from certain things. It's, yeah, that sort of drama. All-star cast. The Big Sleep. I don't know a whole lot about this. I think it's sort of a conspiracy drama, sort of thriller. Some great older actors, Robert Mitchum and James Stewart. A Beautiful Mind, I haven't seen. I know it has Russell Crowe as a mathematician, directed by Ron Howard. I think he's a mathematician with autism or something, but it's about him as an educator. Manchester by the Sea, another quite depressing movie, covers some very dark themes. It's about a plumber played by Casey Affleck. He won Best Actor in it, who his brother just died, and he sort of becomes the sole guardian of his nephew. But this is a very raw, honest look at family relationships and mental health, themes of suicide and things like that. Quite full on, really, really good. Manchester by the Sea, I would really recommend. Lonesome Jim, also with Casey Affleck, and this is directed by Steve Buscemi, which is interesting. He's actually directed some pretty good movies and episodes of good TV shows, so I look forward to checking this out. Ain't Them Bodies Saints, also is with Casey Affleck. This is about two couples who are criminals, who almost a bit like sort of natural born killers, Bonnie and Clyde, that kind of vibe, but I imagine this is a much moodier sort of drama film about that type of lifestyle. It's directed by David Lowery, who's directed some sort of strange, more surreal drama movies of that kind of ilk before. Amores Perros, a really good Mexican crime story told sort of in vignettes about different characters' perspective of a similar event that happens, and how they're all kind of involved in this, in some sort of crime and corruption or, yeah, dodgy behavior. Really good movie. It's directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, director of The Revenant, Birdman. Great filmmaker. This is a really good crime drama, and we're going to be getting into some crime dramas coming up here. Moving forwards from sort of human, realistic dramas to crime dramas, we have 21 Grams, also directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, and this is, I think, like a pretty similar type of movie to Amores Perros. It's English language, Sean Penn, Naomi Watts. I've seen this a long time ago, I don't remember it too well. It's a bit slow moving, but yeah, it's another crime drama told in vignettes with a large support, like a large cast of characters, big ensemble. Benicio del Toro's in this too. In the Bedroom. This is a really strange crime drama. It's very slow moving. It's set in the American suburb of Maine, so it has this very idyllic seaside kind of soap operatic environment feel to it, but it's about like a murder which takes place in the town when a young man sort of has an affair with an older woman, but it's about the young man's parents and how they deal with the young man being murdered. Yeah, In the Bedroom's a very atmospheric, strange sort of movie. There is some shocking scenes of like violence, even though it has that soap operatic, small town Maine kind of feel to it. It's slow moving, it's really well acted, but yeah, In the Bedroom's a strange tone that it strikes. Little Children, from the director of In the Bedroom. I think this is another story of like romance sort of gone wrong and a crime aspect coming into it from affairs and things like that. This has Kate Winslet, Patrick Wilson. Yeah, another drama set in a small town about relationships and toxic actions and toxic people. Elle, this is directed by Paul Verhoeven, the director of RoboCop, Total Recall, Starship Troopers, but this stars, it's a more recent movie starring an amazing French actress who I love to pronounce her name in a French accent. It's Isabelle Huppert, stars in this as a woman who has been raped, and about her psychological headspace after the events of a rape occurring in her life. And so yeah, it covers themes of trauma and aging and Elle. I heard wonderful things about it, got a lot of Oscar buzz when it came out. I really look forward to checking this out. Alexandra's Project. This is an Australian drama about a woman who takes some dark revenge on her unfaithful husband in the form of leaving him a videotape which exposes some really dark things about both their lives. This is a really sort of creepy, dark movie, Alexandra's Project. Rolf de Heer directed it, great Australian director, so would recommend checking that out if you're in the mood for something pretty dark. Tape. This is a Richard Linklater film, who's a director who I don't associate with dark subject matter, but this looks like a very dark sort of movie for him. It's Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman. I don't know much about it. I believe it could be similar to Alexandra's Project, but Tape looks really good. I love Richard Linklater, but like I said, he's directed mostly pretty uplifting kind of movies. He's not known for like dark crime dramas and whatnot. Jindabyne. This is a great Australian crime drama set in the town of Jindabyne about a group of fishermen who discover a murdered dead body of an Aboriginal girl, and they discover this while they're on a fishing trip, and they decide to not tell their families about it. They all go home, they just keep it a secret, they let the authorities find it if they have to, and then their families and their wives and everything find out that they knew about this dead Aboriginal murdered woman, and they're wondering, what the fuck, guys? This is a really good psychological crime drama. Gabriel Byrne, Laura Linney, fantastic film. Wish You Were Here, another Australian crime drama I haven't seen. It's got Joel Edgerton in it. It's about a group of friends who are on a holiday, but like things sort of go south, so to speak. And I look forward to seeing this. It looks like a really atmospheric movie set. Where are they holidaying at? Cambodia. The Air I Breathe. This sounds a bit similar to that 21 Grams Amores Perros sort of vibe, where it's a huge, like this has a huge cast of like very big actors who all sort of come together in the wake of an event. Their destinies sort of collide. I believe they're all involved in a bit of crime and corruption, but The Air I Breathe, really great cast. Brendan Fraser, Kevin Bacon, Andy Garcia, Julie Delpy, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Forrest Whitaker, Emile Hirsch. Mean Creek, I also haven't seen. I believe this is a sort of southern story of bullying and which would then result in a murder maybe, but the central cast of kids are all involved in it. It has Josh Peck from Drake and Josh in a not so funny role here, I don't believe. But Mean Creek seems similar to, we're going to talk about it in a second, Mud with Matthew McConaughey. I think this is a pretty southern sort of drama, maybe a bit like Sling Blade too. Then we have Mud, starring Matthew McConaughey in the midst of his McConaissance, where he sort of turned from doing rom-coms and chick flicks and other movies that weren't all that good to some pretty meaty material here with Mud, which is about two boys who meet this mysterious stranger, Mud. It's set in the Deep South. Mud has a history of crime under his belt, possibly, and the authorities are looking for him, but it's, about the relationship between a man and boys, and men and boys growing up. The Bike Riders, a recent movie starring Austin Butler and Tom Hardy, set in the late 60s, about bike riders. The way this story is told is almost a bit like Goodfellas. There's a lot of narration, recorded by Jodie Comer, the actress. This is a good movie, sort of light-hearted. It's not super violent or gory or horrific, but it's a good hangout movie set in the 60s about bikies. The Place Beyond the Pines with Ryan Gosling. This is a really great sort of crime story told in vignettes, all different people coming together, or it's sort of the same events told through their perspectives. Bradley Cooper plays a cop, Ryan Gosling plays a motorcycle stunt rider slash bank robber who sort of incorporates his skills on a motorbike in order to commit these bank robberies. This is a really, really good movie, very atmospheric, very cool. Would really recommend checking this out if you haven't seen it, The Place Beyond the Pines. Pig with Nicolas Cage, about a man who has a pet truffle hunting pig, and he makes a living through taking the truffles his pig digs up to a famous restaurant, a very exquisite high-end restaurant that's sort of managed by a young guy, Alex Wolff. But in the plot of this movie, Nicolas Cage's pig is kidnapped. All of a sudden he can't find his truffles, he can't make a living, and he's lost his pet. So Nicolas Cage must find his pig, find out who took his pig, and seek revenge on them. But it's not a John Wick style revenge movie. This is much more of a psychological, slow-burning crime drama about, a man's losing his pet, essentially. The Gambler with Mark Wahlberg. I remember liking this movie. I don't think it got terribly good reviews when it came out, but it has John Goodman in it too as this sort of gangster, and Mark Wahlberg plays this sort of loser, this sleazebag gambler who owes a lot of money to the wrong people, which is a role he's sort of pretty well cut out to play. But I remember quite liking The Gambler. Stillwater with Matt Damon. I believe this is about oil drilling. It's from the director of Spotlight, the Best Picture winner from about just over 10 years ago. This is a movie, I believe, about a father-daughter relationship and a man trying to just overcome the corruption of the oil drilling business. Too Young to Die. Haven't seen this, don't know a lot about it. Very early role for Brad Pitt. This also has Juliette Lewis. It could be a Bonnie and Clyde, natural-born killers, couple on the run committing crimes across the country kind of movie. I look forward to checking it out. Gran Torino, which is a classic Clint Eastwood directed by and starring movie, and if you don't know what it's about this older guy who's racist. He doesn't like the Chinese, but Chinese move into his neighborhood, and there is a Chinese gang about who terrorize his neighbors, and he forms a relationship with the young neighbors because the son is a very honest, good, hard-working young man who's just being bullied and terrorized by his cousins who are these violent gang members. And he also owns a classic Gran Torino car, I believe, but this is a really, really good movie. Another great Clint Eastwood movie, Richard Jewell, about the true story of a suspected bombing at a Olympic event, and Paul Walter Hauser plays a security guard who intercepts this bombing and stops it, but then there's a media storm as the media turns to him as the main culprit in attempting this bombing that happens. whereas he is just an innocent security guy, a bit of an odd character. But this is a really good, really good movie about the media kind of turning on you and the tabloids sort of being spreading misinformation. A Time to Kill, which another really all-star cast. This has Matthew McConaughey, Samuel Jackson, Sandra Bullock. This is another really southern, deep South American crime drama about, I think, the rape and murder of a young black girl. The Usual Suspects, one of the classics really. People talk about this as having one of the greatest twists of any movie. Kevin Spacey, I believe, did he win the Oscar for that? We're not really allowed to talk about Kevin Spacey anymore, but apparently I think everyone gives a good performance in this. I didn't love it the first time I saw it because I thought there's a whole lot of four-letter language in this that just almost feels a bit over the top after a certain point, and I just get a bit sick of hearing characters just swear. But I should give it another go because I think it does have a really good story. LA Confidential, another neo-noir with Kevin Spacey as well, and I saw this as a good crime drama of a certain period and setting, which was really cool. Also had a complicated plot, a bit like The Usual Suspects. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, from one of my favourite directors, Martin McDonagh, the Irish director. Frances McDormand's in this. I need to re-watch this because I didn't actually like it that much when I first saw it, because I thought it is just so miserably mean-spirited in every way. It's so bitter and angry as a movie that it started to make me feel almost a little bit nauseous. But I really do owe this movie another go because I think it is pretty special. Woody Harrelson's in this too. Really good cast. Gone Baby Gone, directed by Ben Affleck. I remember this being a pretty good crime drama too. Argo, also directed by Ben Affleck. This is about the Iranian Revolution taking over the US Embassy in Tehran, Iran. And Ben Affleck and another group of people pose as filmmakers in order to try and get out and be set free. But in actual fact, they're spies trying to infiltrate the US Embassy in Tehran. Hollywoodland, another film starring Ben Affleck. Haven't seen it. It's a period piece, and it has a pretty good cast too. Changing Lanes. I haven't seen this, but this seems like a pretty good drama about a man suing another man over a traffic accident. You've got Ben Affleck, Samuel L. Jackson. Philadelphia. This is Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. They star as 2 lawyers who I think are suing a law firm due to AIDS discrimination. So it's a legal thriller about AIDS. Dead Man Walking. This is a movie I remember watching in high school in English class and doing an analysis of it. It was a class analysis movie, and it's about a death row prison inmate played by Sean Penn and a nun from an orphanage who sort of spends his final days with him. And yeah, together they just bond over that. It's Susan Sarandon who plays the nun. I remember it being pretty good. I might have different thoughts on it now that I've grown up a little more. Mystic River. I remember this being a pretty good, if not bleak, sort of crime drama with Sean Penn, Tim Robbins. This is directed by Clint Eastwood. I don't remember a whole lot in regards to the story, but Mystic River I remember being real good. The Little Things I remember hearing is not good. It's a recent movie starring Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, Jared Leto. Pretty good cast. I did not hear good things, but I will check it out one day and decide for myself. Wind River. This is a crime drama thriller written and directed, I think, by Taylor Sheridan, who's tackled a lot of sort of crime thriller subjects in the past. He wrote Hell or High Water. He's worked in a lot of TV shows. I've been quite enjoying the show Landman. But yeah, Wind River I look forward to checking out. Seems like a good icy snow type thriller. The Post, I hear, is one of Steven Spielberg's better, more recent movies. You got Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep, 2 greats. It's about 2 journalists who try to uncover some sort of conspiracy, I believe. Spotlight I remember really liking. This won Best Picture. It's about journalists trying to uncover and expose so many accounts of child molestation in the Catholic Church, so it's pretty heavy subject matter. Really good cast. I remember this being a very interesting thriller. It was criticised for being not stylized at all, or not stylish at all, just being straightforward, people in a newspaper center, just reading and hearing and interviewing people about their sort of, yeah, traumatic pasts as in the Catholic Church. Promised Land, not seeing this, but it comes from a great director called Gus Van Sant, who's worked on a lot of surreal, strange, bizarre films, but also some very human, moving dramas as well. And this stars Matt Damon, John Krasinski, Frances McDormand. Glengarry Glen Ross, haven't seen it. Great cast though. It's got Al Pacino, Alec Baldwin. This movie is known for having a pretty famous monologue, I believe, so I still need to check out Glengarry Glen Ross. That's a big hole in my film watching career. Wall Street, I've not seen this, but I have seen its sequel, Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. These are sort of financial dramas directed by Oliver Stone about a pretty high-end stockbroker, I believe, played by Michael Douglas, who is a real lizard-like billionaire. He manipulates the system, he makes lots of money, he steps on a lot of toes and heads and fucks a lot of people over, I'm sure, but yeah, I remember Wall Street Money Never Sleeps being a pretty good movie about corrupting a younger lawyer, or student maybe, played by Shia LaBeouf in this. Swimming with Sharks with Kevin Spacey, and this definitely comes with an asterisk next to it because the plot of this movie is a powerful Hollywood producer has the uncanny ability to make and break careers with the click of his fingers, a little bit like Harvey Weinstein would, under the duress of sexual misconduct and harassment and rape, and is now in jail for it. And Kevin Spacey, a powerful actor who also engaged in such behaviour for many years and who is now paying the cost of it by being cancelled and no longer cast in movies. But nonetheless, movies like this, this sounds and looks a bit similar to American Beauty. It's Kevin Spacey chewing the scenery, playing a scumbag, which he made up for with most of his career. Most of his career consists of that, so yeah. This Swimming with Sharks, that'll be an interesting watch. Another financial movie, Arbitrage, with Richard Gere. I don't know a whole lot about this, but I heard some really good things. Now we're sort of almost getting into gambling movies with Rounders, another gambling and financial sort of drama. This has Edward Norton, Matt Damon. I haven't seen it, I don't know much about it, but it's about high-end gambling and the stakes therein. The Cooler with William H. Macy, also a movie about gambling addicts. William H. Macy is obviously so good at playing like a down-and-out loser or a sucker or someone who's just constantly getting downtrodden by life. He's made a career of that in a way with Boogie Nights, Fargo, Shameless. So yeah, this could be a good sort of gambling man digs his grave deeper and deeper and just cannot get out of the shit that he's buried himself in. American Hustle, about high stakes cons and corruption. Huge all-star cast, a lot of Oscar attention when this came out. I remember liking it, I remember thinking it was a good, you know, moves as quick as a whip, fast-paced sort of comedy drama, with some great acting. American Made sounds like it might cover similar territory. This time you have Tom Cruise as a money smuggler by plane. He smuggles large sums of money and possibly drugs as well abroad. And this is also directed by Doug Liman, who's made a lot of sort of fast-paced thrillers, like with something like Go, which is also about drug smuggling, drug dealing, and kind of trying to live the high life, so to speak. And even something like The Bourne Identity, Doug Liman's The Bourne Identity with Matt Damon. That's also like a fast-paced thriller with a charismatic lead. So American Made, I look forward to seeing. It seems like it'd be right up Tom Cruise's alley. Contagion, a drama thriller about a disease outbreak which wipes out a great portion of the Earth's population, which is an interesting subject to consider post-COVID, and this, you know, has an all-star cast directed by Steven Soderbergh, who I would not say can do no wrong, but he can do just about any type of genre or tone of film that's thrown at him. He's a really innovative filmmaker. Outbreak covers a very similar subject matter to Contagion as well, though I'm not sure this was necessarily as critically acclaimed. It does have a good cast. It's directed by Wolfgang Petersen, who has made some fantastic movies. Das Boot, Air Force One. But yeah, this is about a virologist trying to stave off global biological meltdown and get rid of a rare killer virus from the jungles of Zaire. So Outbreak, haven't seen it. Could be as good as Contagion, maybe better, maybe worse, I don't know. Fast Food Nation, directed by Richard Linklater. This sounds pretty good. It's about a fast food chain that is brought into a public relations nightmare, a PR meltdown, if you will, due to fecal matter being found in their meat patties. So it's about fast food contamination. I don't believe it's a documentary. It is a drama, possibly a dark comedy. Next we have Badass, written and directed by and starring Mario Van Peebles, which this is a sort of biopic movie of his father, a filmmaker called Melvin Van Peebles, who I think in the early 70s in America kind of changed the face of independent black cinema. And he made a movie back then called Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song. And this is a biopic about the making of that film back then. So this could be really cool. It looks similar, in a similar vein to Spike Lee movies, and we would have talked about a whole string of Spike Lee movies in the last video. But I think that's going to conclude the drama videos for this time. There's still so many more to go. There might be about like 4 parts in total of this. We'll see how many other videos we have to make for this whole collection to be talked about. I've only covered one part of one genre. That we've still got thriller, action, comedy, horror, sci-fi, fantasy, animated, documentary, and my TV stuff to go. So I'll see you in the next video of drama movies. So see you guys.